In the fight card here, it's our first heavyweight bout of the night. Adenilson Clementino now fighting out of Wichita Falls, Texas. The former Brazilian professional basketball player who stands 6 feet, 7 inches tall.
He does not look like a basketball player.
Let's take a closer look at Adenilson Clementino.
Known for having some of the quickest hands in the heavyweight division, Adenilson Clementino has become a force to be reckoned with and has proven he can put his opponents to sleep. But tonight, he'll be throwing a welcoming party for Jeff Karriman, who will be making his KOTC debut.
My opponent, I can't even pronounce his name. He's a Brazilian guy. I guess he trains in Texas. I figured he would have a lot of ground game, but from what I've seen, he's mostly a stand-up fighter, so that's kind of working to my advantage.
I like to stand up. I like to trade, you know. I like to hit people. I'm a big fighter. I have a great reach. I've got a good speed. I got a good strength.
Ideally, I see the fight ending for me with me on top of him and the referee pulling me off of him.
I want to make him regret to step in the cage with me.
I'd like to thank River Spirit Casino and King of the Cage for allowing me to pound Mr. Clementino's face into the mat.
And Jeff Karriman, I will knock you out. I will make an example out of you tonight.
Well, a nice intro for those two young heavyweights, and let's take a look at the tail of the tape. 31 years old, Adenilson Clementino, giving up a few years to Jeff Karriman at 27 years old. And there's not much of a height difference. Even though Clementino is 6'7", Karriman comes to us 6'6". Both of them super heavyweights almost, 260 pounds for Clementino, and that's actually a cut down for him. And Karriman coming in at 245. But there is a big difference in that reach advantage. Adenilson Clementino, 84-inch wingspan. Contrary to the 78 for Karriman. And here comes our ring announcer, Dean Stone.
Introducing Adenilson, the specimen, Clementino.
There he is, the former pro basketball player, Adenilson Clementino. Has one loss on his record to Cody East, who fights later on in the card tonight against University of Tulsa football player and undefeated fighter Kenny Spotwood. Adenilson Clementino has a very imposing size and physique about him. And knowing that he comes more of a striker than a grappler has to be imposing for his opponents.
Well, he's definitely got some reach, and normally that'd be a big advantage, but in this case, not so much. They're both about the same height.
But there was a considerable reach advantage that we spoke about, Don. Do you think that's going to play into Karriman's mind if they do get into an exchange?
Well, that's the length of his arms. I don't know if it's the length of his legs. If Karriman can kick, then he's got the advantage. So it all depends. I have not seen either fighter fight. The records are pretty close. Age close, size. It looks to be an even matchup.
Well, let's take a look at some of the strengths of Adenilson, the specimen Clementino. We already know about the height advantage, but he does have a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu under Ralph Gracie, strong Muay Thai, stand-up ability, trained with former world champion Tony Bonello at his time in Texas, and has improved his cardio considerable using less weights and more running for this bout tonight here live on MAV TV.
Here is Jeff Karriman.
Jeff Karriman coming in as the hometown favorite. You can hear the response as he comes to us here from Tulsa. He has an extensive wrestling background. And this is another great heavyweight matchup. I'm so excited. I don't know what the outcome's going to be, and that's what makes this one so exciting. Usually there's a heavy favorite in most fights. In this one, I'm not sure who to lean towards.
Well, that's what I was saying before about the matchmaking of the King of the Cage. I mean, that's why their bouts have been so exciting and their crowds have been building and building over the years. You know, the proof of the pudding is in the eating, and the way they match these fights up is phenomenal. I mean, they're always interesting and very close. There's no runaways with the King of the Cage.
Well, last little equipment checks, and Karriman is cleared to get inside the cage. Let's take a look at the strengths of Karriman. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu trained fighter, trained with Team Nogueira, prefers a ground and pound style. Also did less weight training and more emphasis on cardio as he's working with a new trainer now for this fight. Karriman training out of the factory in Tulsa. Let's take it to our ring announcer, Mr. Dean Stone.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the River Spirit Events Center at the River Spirit Casino, Tulsa, King of the Cage, MagnaFlow Exhaust Products, and Lucas Oil presents this special 3-round heavyweight attraction. Your referee in charge of the action, Mike Beltran. Introducing first, fighting out of the MagnaFlow blue corner, standing 6 feet 7 inches tall. Official weight, 261.6 pounds. He represents Athletic Vicious. Ladies and gentlemen, from Wichita Falls, Texas, by way of Brazil, presenting Adenilson, the specimen Clementino. His opponent, across the cage, fighting out of the MagnaFlow red corner, stands at 6 feet 6 inches tall. Official weight, 244.8 pounds. He represents the Factory. Ladies and gentlemen, from Tulsa, Oklahoma, presenting Jeff Karriman. Once again, your referee in charge, Mike Beltran, to give the final instructions. 3 rounds of heavyweight action scheduled.
All right, gentlemen, been over the rules already. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Touch gloves now if you want. At the sound of the bell, come on out and handle your business. Let's go.
We'll take a look at the specimen. Adenilson Clementino.
Well,
looking so physically fit, something like a George Foreman resemblance.
I was going to say, if it's a bodybuilding contest, we know who the winner is. But this is not a bodybuilding contest. This is a fight. And you get tapped on the chin, anything can happen.
And, you know, both of them talked about improving their cardio, but with that huge muscularity, that takes a lot of energy to power that engine.
Whoa. He tried a jump front kick and missed.
Clementino came out with that brutal assault from the kick right off the get-go, as he's known to do. Karriman went underneath. Clementino almost walked over him, but now he's got to worry about being stuck inside of a triangle choked on.
Right, he's got his head in between the legs of Clementino, and that's not a good position to be in.
Well, not only that, one arm inside.
One arm is could be straightened out right here. I mean, it's
various options for Clementino at this point, very early in the round. But he's going to have to be careful, because if Karriman gets out, he's going to be on top of him, and he's fresh and early here in round number 1.
It's also tough when you're up against that cage. That restricts your movement and stops a lot of the things you could do on the ground when you're up against that cage.
Well, Karriman's popped his head out, but Clementino still has the possibility to finish the armbar here. Karriman's really going to have to be careful, but he is in a position where he can probably walk over Clementino at this point and alleviate the pressure on the arm. And you see he did that by going to the north-south position, and now has a side control. And this could be trouble for Clementino, because we do know that Karriman has a superior wrestling background. Well, as soon as I said he was a superior wrestler, Clementino easily got back to his feet.
Well, I think Clementino has got some jiu-jitsu background, and that's grappling as well. Matter of fact, he's kind of pulling a slight reversal. If he gets behind Karriman a little bit more.
Karriman now switching from that position, looking for possibly a double here. You see one arm around each leg. He's going to try to scoop out the hips, move forward, and knock Adenilson to the ground. Clementino with a slapping chop of the forearm. Karriman driving again for the takedown, but great sprawl out by Clementino.
Yeah, his defensive skills are very good.
He has great positioning,
Yes,
even
brawl.
against the strong wrestling of Karriman.
Well, he stayed up. He stayed up despite the takedown attempts.
Clementino with an overhand right, a left hook. Coming again with that left. Karriman's looking gassed early here in round number 1. He looks to be tired from the exchange that already happened. He might have been slightly choked a little bit when he had that triangle position on him. I'm not sure, but
could have been, or it could have been a knee sneaks in because of it, just like that.
Clementino
left hook.
connecting with some
left
hard
hook.
shots here.
He's stunned. He's stunned.
Karriman covering up underneath. Clementino continuing to batter away.
If he could land one more shot or get a choke right here. No, he doesn't have his legs in the right position.
Karriman scrambles, comes out inside control. Very good position for him here.
He did kind of a reversal, that's for sure. I thought he was in trouble.
Clementino got a little overzealous, and I could see some blood on the face of Karriman. It seems to be a cut around the forehead near the hairline.
If Clementino can land anything on the chin right about now, it would be lights out because
well, I'll tell you, we've seen Karriman very good. It's about a minute and a half to go in the fight, and I've seen Karriman on the receiving end of a lot of damage. And although this may look rough, I know he's in it for the long haul. Sort of a lead uppercut followed by a lead hook from Clementino. And Karriman just doesn't seem to have any defense to stop those hands.
No, but they don't have a lot of power on him anyway. Oh, that knee did hurt, though. That knee hurt. He's down on his knees now because that knee took it out of him. I think that if Clementino can just keep the pressure on with some solid shots, he might get a...
I think the biggest problem for Karriman right now, if this assault continues, he's going to have to worry about the referee stopping the fight.
I'll tell you, it was a knee, not a head punch that brought him down this time. I believe it was the left knee into the ribs and then took all the air out of him.
It's looking like Adenilson has much improved or much better cardio than his opponent. Karriman already looking spent here in round number 1. And you know, we spoke to Karriman earlier, and he said that cardio was not going to be an issue for him, that he'd been training and concentrating on cardio, and we've got to stop here. They're going to put him back on their feet.
Well, you'd be surprised.
15 seconds remaining in round number 1, Doc.
You'd be surprised how much one knee will take out of your body. All the cardio in the world, one knee to the body and it's gone.
Few seconds
left
remaining.
Hook, right hand.
And Karriman fires back.
He's taking some shots.
Adenilson connecting with a couple chopping shots at the end of the round. And he throws in a very unorthodox manner, but he is 6'7" tall and 260 pounds. That is a lot of weight being thrown.
We would call those arm punches because his body is not moving. His arms are doing all the work. It's like swimming, you know. He's arm punching, but look at those arms. I wouldn't want to get him punched by his arm punches. Clementino is a big man. Unofficially, I'd give that round to him. Big round.
Yeah, again, on our unofficial scorecard, I've got to agree with you, Don. I can't see it any other way. Clementino was in control of the action, and Karriman just looked winded early in the fight.
Yeah, I think that was a knee, though. I actually think he took a knee, and then he was dropped soon after that. So I believe that was what led up to the knockdown.
Let's go! Take a look at some of the replays that transpired here. That's right in the beginning. Adenilson tried to end it at the first second of the fight with that kick to the face.
Oh, left hook right there. He's stunned.
Some hard shots connected for Clementino in round number 1, and as we move into round number 2, we're going to see if Karriman still has the win to continue or the desire to. He looks weary just standing in front of Clementino here.
He's taking 3 shots right in a row.
Oh, now Karriman comes back with some shots of his own and connects on the chin of Clementino, Don.
Yeah, Clementino better keep his head out of the way.
I knew Karriman could take damage and continue, but he just looked to be in such a lull there, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, some great combinations landing for him.
Oh, another knee. I can't say that these are the best punches that I've seen.
Well, it seems like Clementino, again, you know, those big muscles are just taking all the oxygen out of him because his punches have seemed to reduce in the power that he was bringing in round number 1.
Well, you know, the one bad thing about muscle is when you've got it, you're tempted to use it. When you use muscle, you lose energy with every punch. So you have to use the body technique, body weight.
Done.
Oh, another left hook.
taking a look at these guys right now, the way their body posture.
He's landed.
Where right now, Don?
He's got at least 4 or 5 right hands. The referee's going to step in there.
Several
That's it.
unanswered blows. Clementino finishes the fight there in round number 2.
At least 4 to 5 right hands landing in the head. Karriman, no defense whatsoever. It was a good call.
Clementino finishing strong against Karriman's rally in round number 2. And we saw Clementino be very aggressive right from the get-go. Let's take a look at the replay, what transpired in the last 30 seconds of the fight before the stoppage. Here we go. Karriman had just made his comeback there. Clementino landed that over-the-top right hand, followed with the left hook. And there's a right hand that really seemed to stun him, followed by another one. And as Karriman wasn't defending himself very well, fell to the mat, and Clementino just kept pressing forward. Mike Beltran had seen enough. The young man from Tulsa seemed to be in trouble. And it's a win for the Brazilian fighter now living in Wichita Falls, Texas. Adenilson Clementino, the specimen. Those big muscles used a lot of energy tonight, but on his behalf for the victory, Clementino very excited. Let's take a look at that angle from let's take a look at the knockout from another angle. Clementino, you see the right hands piling up, uppercuts, uppercut, unanswered. Karriman falls to the mat, and Clementino was just wearing him down with those powerful shots.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mike Beltran calls a halt to this bout. The official time comes at 1 minute and 13 seconds of round number 2. The winner, by way of TKO due to strikes, Adenilson, the specimen, Clementino.
Well, a great showing by Clementino tonight, winning another one, and we're going to have a chance to talk to him as Don Wilson is in the cage to get a few words.
Well, that was great. Congratulations. You know, we noticed he was trying to take you down, but we were really impressed with your defensive skills as well as your punching.
Well, like he told me, he was gonna smash my face in the ground. That ain't happening. I'm a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. This is what got him. He forgot about that little detail.
You know, it seemed like it was a pretty even fight until you landed a knee. I'm not sure if that was, he went down right after that. Did you work on those knees?
I'm a Muay Thai guy, yeah. Thank you, man.
Well, congratulations on your win. Good luck to you.
Thank you. Thank all you guys for coming to support us.
Well, the big man now living out of Wichita Falls, Brazilian fighter, the specimen, Adenilson Clementino, victorious in his bout tonight.